Welcome everyone. Today I'm gonna show you how to replace the tie rod end on a BMW E90. First, jack up the car and secure it on a jack stand properly. Remove the wheels. You're gonna need 17mm socket. I usually put the wheel under the car for extra safety. Here's the tie rod end. First you're gonna need to remove the nut. You can turn the steering on one side for easy access. This job is pretty easy, but if you are living in a rust belt environment, removing this nut out of the tie rod end stud would be tricky sometime. The stud here has Torx head. The purpose of this Torx slot is to hold the stud in place by using a Torx socket or a key while unscrewing the nut. If you don't hold the Torx slotted stud, it will spin along with the nut. There are different ways to remove the nut. First we're gonna try to remove the nut using impact gun. Here you can see the stud is spinning along with the nut. I use the pry bar now. What I do is to support the tie rod end ball joint from the bottom with the pry bar by pushing it upward. It works for me most of the time. The pry bar restricts the stud from spinning. Unfortunately, pry bar method is not working today. Here is an example from another car how this pry bar method works. Let's try another method. Holding the stud with the Torx socket or a key and turning the nut with a spanner. Before that, you can clean up the Torx slot and stud with wire brush and brake cleaner. I have done that already. You can see how it's becoming harder. Torx head will strip soon. If you are not living in a cold and humid environment, you might not face this problem. Well, it got stripped now. Now, the last resort is to use angle grinder and cut it off. Next step is to unscrew the tie rod end. To do that, you're gonna need to remove the Torx bolt which holds the tie rod end in place. Cleaning the surface with wire brush and applying penetrating oil can help in removing the bolt. I'm also using a pick in order to remove the dust and gunk collected on a Torx slot over the years. I'm using a torch to heat up the area also. It will expand the metal and break the rust bond between. Heat works really good. Here we go, the bolt is turning. I tell you guys, without using heat, cleaning up the surface and using penetrating oil, this can be very hard to remove. Next step is to unscrew the tie rod. But before, you might wanna mark the edges with a paint marker. That will be the guide when installing the new tie rod into the right place. That way the alignment of wheel will be not too bad. Mind you, you have to go to the workshop anyway for the alignment, but it will be at least close to the right balance. You can also count the number of turns while unscrewing the tie rod. Now there are two spots for a wrench and a plier for better grip. Sometimes these can be hard too, but for this model it is usually not that hard. Here you go, it's got loosened. I think now I can use the hand to turn the tie rod end. It's a pinch style bolt to hold up the tie rod into position. At this moment, you can count the turn if you want to. When installing new tie rod, make sure it is the right part and match up the old one. In this case, it is the right part. It always comes with a new nut. Now reverse the process. If you have counted the turns, make sure to write down them somewhere else so that you don't forget when installing it back. I'm gonna screw down until the paint mark. Here you can see, it is almost perfectly there. Carefully screw down the pinch bolt and reverse rest of the process. And remember to torque down all the bolts and nuts according to the car manual. Tie rod end is installed successfully. It is pretty easy job, but sometimes rust give a bit of a challenge. Don't forget to take the car to the workshop for alignment. Okay guys, thanks for coming along. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe my channel. I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching.